Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, and in this video I just wanted to talk with you guys briefly about my initial thoughts and feelings after about a week and a half of moving to a higher TSS training level. If you guys have been following my channel for a while, you know that over the past several months, 3 months, I did 2 rounds of Trainer Road's Sweet Spot Base plan, high volume. I basically did the plan and then did the plan over again. Pretty much followed the plan exactly to a T 2 times in a row, and I saw very big gains in FTP. If you guys follow along with my weekly kind of training update videos, you'll know I started somewhere around 225 for an FTP and sit today currently around 293. So that's a pretty significant gain, and I'm very impressed with the gains that I made. But as you guys know, I'm a small guy. I'm a 125-pound guy. I'm not a very strong cyclist. I struggle a little bit in the flats, and pretty much on the flats, I pretty much have to just hang on to guys. So I'm not really a time trial specialist. I'm not a very good criterium racer. Anything to do with short duration, high power efforts, it's not my cup of tea. And it's not what I'm good at as a cyclist. I'm more of a long endurance athlete. Like I said, I'm very small. I feel like I'm a very good endurance athlete. I don't have humongous power numbers, but I feel like I can put out decent power numbers for my body weight, hours on end. So I've always been really endurance based as an athlete. So I got to thinking, I'm going to be targeting pretty much exclusively, road races, rather it be long one-day races or stage races, which in the stage races I will have to do some time trials and I will have to do some criteriums and stuff, but my focus on those stage races and the places where I'm going to be attacking and trying to do well and put time into my competitors is going to be on the longer road races. That's my strategy. My strategy is to just pack ride. Pretty much my strategy is just pack ride on criteriums and short circuit races, flat circuit races, limit my losses on time trials, and try to make up the difference on the long road races. That's what my strategy is. So I'm trying to build my fitness around endurance and sustaining high percentages of my threshold for a long time, which I feel is just gonna help me come race day in my long road races and in my stage races. So that's why I have switched and am now doing the Trainer Road traditional base high volume plan. And a couple things I've noticed here in the first week and a half is even though in the plan Trainer Road doesn't really have you really at any point touching FTP or higher, there's still grueling rides. Like I did one of the rides last night. It was called Mount Drum, which basically is a 3-hour and 45-minute ride on the trainer. And in there, there was three 15-minute intervals at like 85% FTP, and one of those intervals was like at 3 hours and 10 minutes into the ride or something like that. It was like beyond the 3-hour mark. That's tough to do. So even though you weren't hitting those maximum power numbers, they're still very tough rides because you're working at such a high percentage of your FTP for such a long duration of time. And the one thing I'm learning as I get more and more knowledge about Trainer Road and how the programs work and stuff is that for the kind of cycling that I want to do, having the high TSS or training stress score is what I'm going to start focusing more on, as opposed to just sheerly hitting those super threshold power numbers on the shorter intensity rides. I still want to do those once a week at least, But the overall majority of my riding and what I want to base my riding around is going to be on targeting those high TSS rides. Like I said, last night's ride there, Mount Drum, was actually a TSS score of like 180. And I did a 15-minute warm-up, so I was probably like around 185 to 190 TSS in one ride. That's like over half the TSS on some of the other plans. So some of the lower mid-volume plans, or even some of the higher volume plans, like on the builds and stuff, you're getting almost half the TSS in one ride. So I'm focusing more on TSS, and I'm noticing that it's stressful to the body. Like I said on last night's ride, after I rode for 4 hours. I tell you what, I was wiped out. I was smoked. I went into that ride at 126 pounds. I weighed myself before the ride was 126, and I ate a Cliff Bar. I had a Lar Bar, which is just a little fruit nut bar. I had a banana, and I had 4 water bottles during that ride. Okay, so I ate quite a bit and drank quite a bit during the ride, and I weighed in at like 121 pounds after the ride. So I lost 5 pounds on that ride, and that's with actually eating and drinking quite a bit on the ride. So if you're a rider that's targeting weight loss, I think going for the higher TSS is a great way to do that, because you're burning so many calories. And once you get into that, when you're on those longer duration high TSS rides, you're really teaching your body to metabolize more fat and to just to make metabolic improvements in order to sustain the long duration of riding. So I'm not necessarily targeting weight loss, honestly, but because I am pretty light as it is. But certainly, it's a great way to keep your weight in check. If you have a week where you might slide up a little bit, do some higher TSS riding. It's a great way to maybe cut yourself back down to where you want to be. But I'm doing the high TSS riding because I want to build that long endurance ability. I want to be able to pretty much go out there and do a 70-80 mile road race and have it feel like it's not all that long. And but like I've told you guys before, when you ride 4 hours on an indoor trainer, that's pretty much like riding 6 hours outdoors, because there's no breaks in the trainer. There's no time off. There's no coasting. There's no downhills. You're pedaling for 4 hours nonstop. That's a very tough ride. It's a very challenging ride. It's mentally challenging. So the higher TSS rides on the trainer are a great way to help you cultivate some mental toughness, because they are so mentally grueling to sit there on the indoor trainer and ride 4 hours. I know some guys who say I'm crazy for riding 4 hours on a trainer. They don't know how I can do it, but I'm just very committed. I'm just very committed to my goals, and I'm willing to make the sacrifices I need to do in order to reach my goals. And I feel that targeting this high TSS training is going to be good for me. It is stressful, but like I said, they're very stressful rides. But what I'm finding is that because you're not ever at any point, even though you're on a 4 hour ride, because you're not, hitting your threshold or going above your threshold, because you're keeping your power numbers relatively in check, okay, you're able to recover from those rides. Like here I am less than 24 hours later, and I feel pretty good. In fact, I'm doing a 3 hour ride today on the trainer, another high TSS ride, and I feel like I can do that no problem. So your ability to recover, I think, is a little bit easier. Not necessarily easier, but it's your ability to recover is sustainable because you're not really just stripping your body of all your glycogen when you're really doing those real high intensity efforts. Those are the kind of rides that can lead you to burnout if you do too many of those high intensity real high intensity rides. That's what leads to burnout. A lot of people think I'm going to burn out on this high TSS. I don't think I'm going to. I'm certainly going to be cognizant of that, and if I feel like I'm getting to that route, I'll dial it back a bit. But I really think this high TSS training is going to be good for me because it's going to be targeting what I want to train on, what I want to work at, what I want to be good at, which is long road races, stage races. And there's no question that in order to be a good stage racer and to be a good long distance road racer, you have to do long rides and you have to put long hours on the bike. So that's what I'm going to be doing. Just wanted to make a short vlog for you guys, telling you a little bit about my initial thoughts here, my initial experiences with the high TSS. I really enjoy it. The longer endurance stuff just works good for me. And I'll give you guys some more updates here as time goes on. But just wanted to kind of fill you guys in on what's going on here with me currently with my training. And as always, guys, I appreciate the support here on the channel. I'll look forward to seeing you guys right back here in my next video.